Welcome back, humans! It's Wednesday, and I'm back with another middle of the week vent session. And while you're at it, would you turn on that notification button, hit that subscription, and smash the like button? I'm here every Wednesday and Saturday. And with that said, I have ready to vent. Man, a lot's been going on. I didn't get to go on last Saturday. Apologize for that. We're in the process of, like I said before, I'm switching locations. I'm moving, and we'll be having a new studio soon. It'll kind of look like this for a little bit, but it's got, it will be different, and so I'm excited about that, And I got some good stuff today. I got some good, nice vents. Put together some good headlines, some really good ones. I found some good stuff. So away we go. I thought today I would start off with a little recap, because things have been going crazy since then a lot. Like I said, a lot's been happening. We got a lot of stuff's been happening in the politic game. A lot of been stuff happening in the entertainment game. Stuff's been going down like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So let me get this little audio thing here going so I can get some better sound for my little clip. And so, like I said, I thought I would do a little recap about what's been going on in the politic game. We got a new prez. A lot of stuff's been going on with the getting people, are we going to get better? Are we going to get back to normal? A lot of stuff's been going on. So I thought I would hit you with a little on the politics side. So I follow a channel, goes by the name of WTF Bruh, like what the fuck bruh. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you guys. These guys do a great job. And they make all these awesome clips of like politicians, like basically, they basically get all these good sound bites and make these cool songs with them. And not just politicians, even those like televangelist dudes and like, Karens and all that kind of shit. So I really like them, and I'm going to use a little snippet from them guys today to help me out with my my little politic recap. Hope you enjoy. Politic recap. New prez. So you ever notice when they say they want to get things done, but they never tell you what they're going to do to get it done? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, our taxes got to go up, and all these things got to go up, and it's like, but the plan is, in the making, or it's going to take us a lot of. They'll like steer around it. You know what I'm saying? They'll be like, it's going to take a lot of hard work, and a lot of people to come together to get this plan into motion, into work, just perfectly. But they won't tell you exactly what it is. You know what I'm saying? They won't tell you what it is. But they'll just tell you we got to get things done. That's all they're going to tell you. Shit like this. Shout out to what the fuck, bruh. So I thought that was fun for a little politic recap. But I'm not done there. Because that wasn't all that happened in the politic game. Like I said, we got new people in office. We got all these things going on. People getting sick. People getting better. You know what I'm saying? People getting better. Things are opening up. So there's a lot of different things going on, especially in the politics game. There's a new press secretary, and seems like she's got all the answers, or maybe she doesn't. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what's going on here? What can we do here? And she always seems to say the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Every time.
Good evening, everyone.
Everybody knows.
Thank you for joining us. I often note I'm going to circle back. I hate to disappoint
Circle
the
back.
of Twitter, but I'm going to circle back on a number of things, as we often do directly. Circle back. Circle back.
That's my circle back dance.
Circle back. That's an excellent question. Circle back.
So shout out to what the fuck, bro. Once more time. I love these guys. They're so entertaining, man. But that's like, isn't that what it is, though? You know what I'm saying? It's just like pretty much the same old song and dance.
I hate to disappoint you, but we will venture to circle back. This is such a good question. I have not had the opportunity to dig into that.
So, in the politic game, you got to fucking circle back. Right?
Get you an answer on that, and maybe we can talk about it, and you'll circle. I will have to circle back on that one. But We'll circle back. And I will have to circle back with you. Let me give you a very
We
specific
want
example.
answers.
I'll circle back. Circle back. I hate to disappoint.
So shout out to WTF, bro. I love all the clips; they're hilarious and super entertaining. It pretty much sums it up. And those weren't even the same interview. Those was like all their shit put together. And I don't even know how many days, 100 days or so. But that's what's going on in the politics game with with them guys. And that was my little politic recap because it basically was like a merry-go-round of all that BS and going on, man.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us. I often know
We came here for answers.
I hate to disappoint conservative Twitter, but I am going to circle back on a number of things, as we often do directly. I'll circle back. Circle back. I hate to disappoint you.
I can't help it. That's just awesome. But that sums it up. They're going to just circle back. You know? But who knows? We'll see. You know? And on with it. I'll circle back to that. Maybe. But let me get on to some of my strange headlines that I found searching the web. So here's what I got. A woman has a nice apartment in a nicer part of New York. She's got a real nice apartment. And, she lived there for a couple of years. Didn't even notice this. She was, just having fun, living in her nice apartment, living that life, enjoying the New York life, chilling, doing the Manhattan thing, doing the New York thing, in New York. But anyways, she ends up noticing there was a weird draft every time she would be in the bathroom. Whether she was taking a shit, shower, shaving, who knows? Shampooing, you know what I'm saying? She would just know, like, ooh, there was a draft. Did I leave a window open? Was the air on? She noticed there was a weird draft coming, so she started trying to track this down. And opened her medicine cabinet and moved the medicine cabinet. And behind her medicine cabinet was another fucking room. Yeah, another room. It was another room. And so, like, she went to the people that, rent out the place, and shit like that, and she went there for some answers. That's what they wanted.
That's an excellent question. Circle back.
So they had to circle back on her ass. They told her, we'll just circle back. So they shut her down, basically. Basically, she got nothing done. No, I don't know. So I don't know if it happened during construction or what happened, but apparently there was a hole through the wall to this next apartment. She said she looked in there, went inside there, and it was like another whole room. And it's kind of creepy. I can't believe she actually went in there. I don't know if that's part true, but it claims that she went in there and like walked around, and she said there was a water bottle in there, which really freaked her out. And so she don't know if it's like how recently the person was in there, and if they even like knew of the access to her room. So that was some creepy shit. Like I'd be tripped out too to find that stuff. You always hear about some people buy some houses and they, they start doing a remodeling, and they'll find some weird discovery, like a whole nother hidden room. Another section of the basement, maybe a bomb shelter. Or I don't know if you ever seen those ones where they find those, the hidden rooms, and it finds out there was people living there and they were eating their food and being all creepy stalker type shit. That would creep me all the way out. There's armed Americans around here. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of balls. You know what I'm saying? To do some shit like that. And if you'd find somebody actually living there, like currently, and she went in that room, and there was an actual water bottle. I don't know how, like you said, you don't know how fresh or not fresh it was. I would be all the way creeped out. I don't know about you guys. But man, I'd be looking around all the time, dude, for something, dude. I'd be tripping out. I'd be tripping all the way. But anyways, on my next one. So there was these two women, and they were in Florida, and apparently they got busted because they were dressing as old ladies, like senior citizens, and they wanted to get vaccinated. So they were trying to get into line and get in front of people, and they were running, I don't know how they did their IDs or when they got to do their IDs, but apparently they dressed as old women, and they got busted trying to, get early vaxxed and get in front of people during the vax. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of messed up. That's kind of messed up, man, trying to get cuts. I'm sure it's going to be available to everybody. It's getting more available to everybody if you want one or if you don't, but it's getting more available. And so I just thought that was kind of crazy. And like I said, I didn't know if this radio station by me was just making fun of y'all for all your crazy news in Florida. Because, I mean, we have crazy news here. But there's a lot in Florida. I don't know why. I want to know. And I enjoyed the place. But little did I know, there was a lot of that kind of stuff happening right around the corner. It's just crazy, you know? It's just, that they would just kind of do this. Imagine you were at the store and you saw them walk by. You know, say like, oh shit, something ain't right. You know, that hair is like extra silver. You know what I'm saying? And some two like fake grannies, some fannies. You know what I'm saying? Or frannies. Some fake grannies walking by, going to get fucking trying to get vexed. You know what I'm saying? They're in a hurry to try to trying to fake it to make it. And then they got busted. I don't know what kind of charges they were doing, but I don't know if they even got like jail time or nothing like that. But they got busted. That was a dumb criminal in the news. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's fucking up, man, that they would try to even do that. You know what I mean? Also, I'm sure everybody knows about, DMX. Prayers out to his family. I'm a big fan of his since the beginning over the '90s. I was a young teenager, and man, when he came on the scene, he exploded. It was like we were waiting for another street dude to come out. You know what I'm saying? And man, dude, he came out and he came out. You know what I'm saying? Like bow. You know what I'm saying? With the open up shop and the Rough Riders and all that shit came out. Eve and the Rough Riders and all them dudes. Fucking Swiss Beats was making these crazy tracks and all these guys was just rapping Dragon. You know, all them dudes. That was an awesome group of guys. You know what I'm saying? That was a cool ass group. And man, those guys made some noise when they came through. But unfortunately, he's in the hospital and he's fighting a big battle right now. And hope he comes through, man. I hope he comes through. You know, he's been having a big battle for a lot of things, you know. But it seems like sometimes he gets through and he makes it always on the top, you know. So hopefully he does again, you know. So like I said, shout out to you, DMX. Man, I used to listen to all his stuff all the time. I liked all his songs. Like one of my favorites, I like that one song where he was it's like where he does all them like religious songs where he's like talks and fights with the devil and God and stuff. And it was that one where he was like, I'm ready to meet him because where I'm living ain't right. Black hate right. Ain't right. You know what I'm saying? It's right back to the same fight. Man, I love that song. You know what I'm saying? That shit gets deep. You know, I like all his little poetry things and it was just cool, man. It was something different. And like back then in the 90s, um, it was really cool and like it was like a rule. You know, like you had to be unique. You couldn't sound like today. Like a lot of guys kind of sound the same. Like when Drake and Lil Wayne, were out, they would kind of had the same similar kind of voice before Drake switched his style up with the singing kind of thing. But I'm just saying like now guys like a lot of them sound the same. You know, especially with the auto tune shit. They just sound like robots and shit. So, but in the '90s, it was like a rule where you had to be unique. Like if you was not, they called it biting. You was biting the style, and nobody likes somebody biting. You know what I'm saying? But now it's like you gotta sound like, oh, you don't sound like so and so. You should sound like this. You know what I'm saying? But back then it was like, no, if you sound like that person, you gotta switch it up. You know, that was like disrespect. If you tried to sound like somebody else, it was like awesome to be unique. And there was so many type of different people now, and there's a lot of different groups now. But I'm saying like as far as the ones that got commercialized, that you see on all the TV, and they're not even on TV that much anymore, and the ones you hear on the radio, they're not specifically that different. Everybody's kind of like the same. You know what I mean? They're all the same. But back then you had like, I mean, just different types of groups, man. Not only from just different cities and different coasts and different parts of the country and the world. It was just like the styles too, man. People was like, this crew dressed with this and this crew like this, but it wasn't like everybody has to have the same brand. Like, everybody didn't just wear Versace back then and shit like that. It was like a lot of cool different shit out then. But that's all they rap about. You know what I'm saying? Like Gucci and this and Gucci, like all this shit. But anyways, like I said, I just felt like in the 90s, like when DMX and them guys came out, he was real unique. And he fit right in. You know what I'm saying? He fit right in, and we was like wanting somebody from the street. We wanted to, and like I said, we was hungering for another street dude that was going to be for real, like that we could believe and we can jump and follow and support. You know what I'm saying? And so when he came out, like I said, everybody just like supported the hell out of that stuff. Just like when like Nirvana came out too. Like when I spoke about Kurt Cobain before, like when they hit the scene when we were in high school too. Like it was like something we didn't know we was waiting for. We didn't know we wanted Kurt Cobain. You know what I'm saying? And then he came out and just took over everybody, man. That sound, that whole sound. I think it was like the grunge sound or whatever they said. And so then like Nirvana came out with their sound, Then you had like Stone Temple Pilots. You know what I'm saying? But nowadays, like I said, a lot of the bands sound the same. You turn on some of these like local radio stations that'll play like alternative rock, and like local alternative rock station we used to have back in the day, it's not the same anymore. They changed it. It doesn't do it anymore. But they used to have like real unique bands, man, like all over the place. But now there's this new alternative rock station, and it's like the same fucking commercialized sounding people. You know what I mean? And that's another thing I got mad about in rock songs. I got pissed off about rock songs right now, and I love me some rock music. I like all kinds of music that's good. If it's shitty, I don't like it. If it's good, I might not even understand the language, but if it's good, I like it. You know what I mean? But if it's shitty and it's just all the way shitty, I ain't feeling it. I ain't doing it. Just don't waste your time with me, humans, because I ain't gonna listen to it. You know? Anyways, it was always like I said, the rock bands, they were fucking awesome in the 90s and early, like a little bit of the early 2000s. I mean, there was some good rock bands. I'm sure people would defend some other ones. But what I'm talking about are the commercialized ones, not like the ones you can search off and all these metal bands and all these other bands that I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Like Goat Jordans, you know, all these crazy metal bands I don't know about. I'm not trying to talk about them. I'm talking about the ones that like are commercialized, like the people that hit the radio. Like nowadays, it's like everybody just sounds the same. But back then, when you go to the classic rock stations, you had like the Motley Crue's, Poison. Those guys was like talking about like women and girls and like having fun and going crazy and being outlaws and just doing crazy like things like that and like the sex, drugs, and rock and roll type thing. And now it's like all the rock. I don't know if it's just me, but the ones on my radio station out here, all the like not the classic rocks because that's where the good ones is at, but like the new shit. It's just all these sad dudes and all these guys like with they're all super sad or super happy, and none of them are talking about girls. If they are, it's like they want to be friends. Like it's like friend zone music or some shit. It's got me all twisted, man. It's like some friend zone music. So what's up with that, humans? What's up with the friend zone music? I don't know. Like I said, there's some songs I might like, but then I can't. Then you change it because the next fucking 30 some songs, if I even got that far, I'm just saying, I'm just guessing. I was just projecting that the next 30 some songs are going to sound the same after the first four were the damn same. I'm like, damn, this song was 22 minutes long. And they were like, they weren't. The bands were changing on my screen. But we need more rock bands to do that stuff. We need that sex, drugs, and rock and roll type rock bands out there. I know they are out there, but we need them more commercialized. We need to help them get on the radios, at least over here in Michigan, because we got to find like classic rock stations. We got to get like satellite radio or this internet radio to fucking listen to that kind of music and find them. Can't just turn on like your local radio stations no more. I'm an older person, so I like to listen to local radio, but lately it's been a little suspect. And like I said, I need some better rock bands. It's only my opinion. Like I said, I'm not knocking you if you guys like the rock bands out there. Just a lot of them I don't like. There's some I do like, and you can catch some like awesome songs on their albums. Like I'll be like, oh man, this song was all right. I heard on the radio. Then I'll go find out their stuff online and check them out. Give them, go to Spotify or go wherever and check out the bands. And their albums will have a couple decent like legit rock songs. But the ones that get commercialized are these. That's all I'm saying. It's like their albums are probably better. But the ones that make the radio, to me, are just like too generic. Like they're just like super generic, cookie cutter. Like I gotta sound like you, I gotta sound like you, I gotta sound like you. That's just my opinion on that. I just gotta vent on that because I just feel like we need something like that DMX. Like when we were craving that DMX like street dude, we needed this man. We needed this dude to just hit the music scene. And then like everybody was like, we need something different again. And then here came fucking Eminem. They were like, God damn, he just hit everybody's by storm. And then it was like, okay, now we need something again. And then bam, here came 50 Cent with fucking G Unit and all these other guys. And I mean, they just started a whole crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? Artists started popping out everywhere. And now again, like I said, I feel like we need that for the rock realm. The rock realm needs like this breakthrough artist to just throw something in our faces we didn't even know we needed. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even know we needed a band like this. And then y'all came in and did it. You know what I'm saying? We just need you to rock our faces off and we'll deal with the consequences afterwards. We'll believe you now, but we'll ask questions later. Basically. For real, we're ready to believe now and just ask later after our faces are just totally rocked all the way off. Just all the way my face off. And I'll ask questions you later, and I'll just believe you all the way now. Cause my face just like got fucking melted off and blasted back. You made my hairline even go way back more. Like the shit almost hit the back of my shoulders with the fucking rock you just played. Oh my God, it's allowed. It's okay. I'll deal with that. And I'll ask questions later. But I need some of that, humans. I need some of that old school rock back. Anyways, so I was watching UFC. I'm sure you guys read the news and saw it or heard about it. It was really wild. This dude was fighting a UFC fight, and I guess apparently he broke his finger. During the fight, his finger broke. And he keeps fighting, which I'm sure happens a lot. It's probably pretty normal. It's probably pretty normal in the fight game. I've sprained my fingers a lot just playing basketball with friends. You know what I'm saying? And that's like always fingers. I can imagine if you guys are punching and trying to grapple and getting somebody to submission or something. You know what I mean? It's probably some crazy business right there. That's probably some like serious business. You know what I mean? I've wrestled with friends before when I was a kid, but I like the grapple game. You know what I'm saying? Like just like, rah. But I fuck my fingers up just in sports wise. You know what I'm saying? So I can only imagine. So he broke his finger, keeps fighting, and the referee notices that all of a sudden his finger is missing. His finger is missing. So he's wrestling on the ground. They have to stop the fight. Apparently, the finger was ripped off during the fight. His finger got ripped off. So they were showing all this like slow motion angle footage. A lot of people out there, shout out to y'all, doing them clip videos because they were getting some good slow motion clips where you can almost figure out where he lost the finger. So they were like showing some grapple moments so you can kind of, use the camera angles and like, oh, look, you could still see his four fingers. You could still see him there. They show him grabbing over here. Like, oh, you could see here. And then I guess his opponent, made an illegal move by grabbing the glove. And they think that when he grabbed the glove, because you have those threads around each finger there, that's probably what severed, the finger off where the tissue was like, because the finger was broken and he probably went where the tissue was soft, and ripped the tendons and, the veins and all that. So they were looking for the finger. They couldn't find it. They were asking fans and commentators to help us find his finger. I'm like, what the hell? But I guess if you're into all that stuff as a fan, you'd go crazy and want to look for it anyways. I might have done it. I don't know if I'd pick it up, but I probably would have went and looked and been grossed out at the same time. I'll fucking go do it. You know what I'm saying? I would have ran out there. And anyways, they had people go look for it. They couldn't find it. Apparently, when they took his glove off, it was in the glove. Thank goodness. And so they apparently got him into surgery and stuff like that. And I guess they got it attached back. I don't know if it's going to last or survive, but I heard they got it like sewed back on, man. But that's a crazy, that would have been a crazy scenario, man. You'd be fighting. I heard about an NFL player that broke his finger or did something like that and like purposely cut his finger off, taped it up, and went back to play football in a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? Some real shit, like crazy, what was that? Gridiron shit. Old school gridiron gang shit. That is just wild, man. To me, that is just wild. I mean, it just got tore off, and then he just kept fighting. And I guess he didn't want the fight to start. He didn't know the finger was gone. He didn't want them to stop it. I guess the referee noticed there was something not there. He's like, wait, man, I think he had all his fingers there. And that was good heads up on the ref, But my man said he felt like, I think he was winning the fight. And they said he could have kept going. He felt like he could have, like my man was getting tired and wearing down, and he was going to go do the thing. Excuse me. But that's just wild, man. And another one I know you guys have heard about. And if you haven't, I'm glad you came here because I'm about to let you know what's up. This one happened with a former NBA player who still works for ESPN. Everybody knows him. He called himself the Truth. Paul Pierce, former Boston Celtic. And when he played for the other teams, I don't care. It didn't matter because he was a Boston Celtic forever. And him and Garnett was awesome. And Ray Allen, that was just an awesome team. So I don't care about the other team you played for. I only care about you being a Celtic. But anyways, Mr. Paul the Truth Pierce told a little too much truth online. I don't know if you guys heard recently, but he was online and he decided to tell a little too much truth. And I don't know if it's because he's older and he just don't know how to use the technology right. But I guess he went on live on his Instagram with Snoop or some other friends, and I guess he was hosting a poker party. And like he went online, maybe he thought he was personal, just one on one, or he didn't know, and he just like, oh, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? I have a lot of money, but what, I'll push this button, but everybody got to see it. So I guess it went live to everybody. I don't know if he's married or whatever. I know he has children because I seen him do like pictures. But they show him right there, and the strippers all behind him and shit, and he's playing cards online live. And there was a lot of smoke in the air. And I don't know if it was cigars or some, you know what I'm saying? Some, no, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know what was going on, but apparently ESPN caught wind of this and saw the clips, and he ended up getting fired from ESPN. He lost his job for having stripper titties on your face on your live Instagram. Your bosses canceled your ass. The cancel culture didn't do it. Your bosses did. Your check writers saw the titties bouncing in your face, on the back of your shoulders, and all them asses bouncing while they didn't even see the cards. Apparently, it was a poker game, but didn't nobody see no cards. I didn't see no dealer or no cards. All we saw was chicks and in the smoky room. I mean, that's all your wife will see if you're married, or your girlfriend, or your fiance. It don't matter what you was doing, if you was playing poker, playing golf, or just walking by a window. All they saw was the titties on your shoulder and face, and the asses bouncing around, and you going like, live with your boy trying to show off, trying to flex for your boy online. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't know if it was an old man movie. It was like live for everyone, and you wanted to do a private. Well, FYI, it didn't happen. Everybody saw it. It's all over the place, and so did ESPN. And they saw it and wanted to. Man, it sucks that they fired you. But I'm sure you'll get a job doing something else. There's all kinds of sport platforms now. There's so many streaming platforms for sports. It's insane. But that's kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? It was a kind of funny move and a dumb move, but it was still funny. The chick was all behind him. She was just like bang, bang, bang. And then there was people back there doing shit. And then he put the thing back on him. And then ESPN was just like, we're going to have to let him go, Jerry. You think so? Yes, we're going to have to do it. What do you think, Pam? Yeah, we got to cut the guy. I know he's the truth, but he told a little too much truth. So he got the pink slip. Damn shame. It's a damn shame. But it was a great story because I was entertained. I was fully entertained. And, it just kind of shed light on what really happens when you got that, you're in the entertainment business. You probably have, like you hear about all those, like Bill Burr says, you don't know about that level of temptation when you're that famous or even a little famous. It's probably insane and very overwhelming. Craziness. But yeah, a little too much truth out there, Mr. Paul Pierce. You should have just kept the truth on the basketball court. Not to your social medias. Because they'll get your ass. This time your boss got you. So, I thought I would have fun with this segment here. Like I said, I was on the internet and I found some interesting articles. And I came across these articles and I was just like, I got to share this with all my humans out there. And I just thought you guys would like this because I had a blast reading about it. These were people that had claims they had sex with celebrities. And this is their tell all of their experience. This is their kiss and tell of being with a celeb. So I thought I would share some of these with you humans. And I hope you enjoy them as much as I did because these were great. And if they're true, oh my gosh, then like I said about this fame thing where people think you're when you got a lot of money, people think you can, it kind of sheds light on those things if they're true. Like when you got all this money, certain people in a certain type of entertainment eras think they can do whatever they want. And I guess they must be able to because they act like it ain't, apparent according to this, these people are just acting regular. Like, this is what I do. La la la, this is what I do. La la la, I'm famous. You gonna do this or not? Because I'm gonna get somebody else that will. This is what I do. That's basically what they say. Okay, so this person claims to have banged Flavor Flav. And I'm sure Flavor Flav, yeah, boy, banged lots of women. But this woman decided to, take her story and make it public, but she went anonymous. But she let her story out. So, like, once again, don't know if it's true, don't know if it's fake, but this person can't claims that this is true. And away we go. So she banged Flavor Flav of Public Enemy. This was back in the 90s, like 98, when when he was probably younger. You know, he was a young Flavor Flav. He was probably still a good flavor for ladies. You know what I'm saying? Before he got the old flavor. You know what I'm saying? Like the expiration date kicked in. You know what I mean? Like before the Bridget Jones shit. Or what was her last name? Bridget. Sylvester Stallone's ex-wife, that big, tall, blonde girl. She played like Sonya, the barbarian and shit. I forget what her name. Bridget something. She used to be married. Bridget Nielsen? Something like that. Before all that stuff. In the 90s. You know what I'm saying? She was all up in Flavor. She let Flavor Flav get all up in her in a nasty, dirty-ass bathroom at a factory bar. And she said she doesn't really want to brag about this. But on the bright side, she didn't get gonorrhea. On the bright side, you didn't get an STD. At least he kept you clean. You know? You was in a dirty ass bathroom, but at least you didn't take nothing home with you. Except for that crazy memory. You know? What if it wasn't Flavor Flav? You know, and their boys just played it off. Because I remember, like, I had some friends that used to pull that little scheme. People would be like, oh, I never heard this person. Like, yeah, that's us. You know what I'm saying? They would memorize songs and try to get girls. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, like I said, what if it was a fake Flavor Flav? And he just like dressed like Flavor and did all that shit. And it was just like so he could get away from the media. And it was like Flavor Flav's like, what do you call it? Decoy. So he could skirt out with the group, with the real groupies. He's like, yeah, boy, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? And then you were stuck there with just the Flavor what? No, I'm just kidding. It was Flavor Dave. It wasn't Flavor Flav. It was his boy Flavor Dave. It was Flavor Dave. It was Flavor Flav's body double, and you didn't know, so he hooked up with him, and you know in that dirty toilet, because Flavor Flav probably would have at least took you to the limo, because he's the Flavor Flav, not Flavor Dave. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure you was buzzed up. You don't know. Your inhibitions was what's the word? Affected. You know what I'm saying? Your choice making may not be as good or clear because you was buzzed up. So he could have said, I'm Flavor Dave, but he was just like Flavor Flav to distract the paparazzis and media so him and Chuck D can go with the groupies and get out of there. And Flavor Dave was hanging out, not Flavor Flav. So you never know. Got to pay close attention. His yeah boy could have been yeah doy because he kept using the D word to make sure that he was Flavor Dave, just to separate himself. You know what I'm saying? Just to separate himself from Flavor Flav. That's all I'm saying. It's a possibility. Excuse me. So that would be interesting. Like I said, she said on the bright side, she didn't get an STD. I guess that is a bright way to look at it. I guess it's a good way to look at it. Didn't even get a t-shirt. So anyways, here's another one. I guess this college girl said her and her roommate went and seen Lil Wayne in D.C. And they were at their dorm, and they ended up, I guess her friend ended up hooking up with Lil Wayne. He took her on his tour bus. And I guess he hooked up with her, and right afterwards, he gave her $100 bill and kicked her off the tour bus. He treated her like a prostitute pretty much. He was like, hey, cut in my room, I'm Lil Wayne. I don't even know how he kind of sounds. He actually talks with a super low voice. They have to like turn his mics all the way up when he like does interviews, because you'll be talking like this. You know what I'm saying? Like his voice sounds super low in all his interviews. And then he's got his own channel where he interviews other artists. And you know that mic, they got to have their headphones all the way up. It'd be like, what's his name? Chappelle, turn my headphones up. Turn them shit up, because I'm talking Lil Wayne. You're like, you know what I'm talking about. Like his voice is just so deep. You know what I'm saying? Like when he raps, it's louder, but it just seems like when he talks, that shit is just real low. I can't even do it. I can't even get as low as he can. Seems like it's low to me. But anyways, I guess he gave her $100. Told her, get off my bus. I'm done with you. You know what I'm saying? Give me another lollipop. You know what I'm saying? He probably told her, get on. Bling, bling. You know what I'm saying? Give me another thing. Passed her on. That's crazy. as a woman, how would that make you feel? Like, you know what I'm saying, my man, you're a big fan of the guy, and then like I wonder what happens in a woman. I don't mean any offense. I'm just like, this is out of curiosity, okay? Like, what happens in a woman's mind when, you know, you meet that famous person that you were a fan of, and then you get close to them, and like, oh my God, they're super handsome, they're so fucking fine, or they're so good looking, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, they talk to you, they give you that time of day. So then, like, what happens right there? You know what I'm saying? Like, I know you're still starstruck. You got to be, because it's somebody famous, right? And so then it's like they get you to where, okay, you agree to go to the hotel room, and you guys are gonna have sex. Okay, you guys are gonna, you know, you're gonna hook up. I'm not saying, like, not calling nobody a hoe or nothing like that, but because you don't think you are. You're going to somebody that you're a fan of, and for some weird reason he made you think y'all connected. Or some people are just straight up are like, I just want to bang him. That's it. But there's some people that get affected this way. You know what I mean? So I'm sure you had fun and you wanted to hook up with him. It wasn't like you weren't gonna. You were like, yeah, I'm going there to hook up with him. But then it's got to be fucked up. Like, it fucks the whole situation up, to my opinion, just from the outside looking in. You know what I'm saying? I'm just observing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it would fuck the whole situation up if this dude, like, just all of a sudden afterwards, not like, oh, you were great, or I had fun, you know, maybe I'll talk to you again when I'm back in town. No, here's $100, and then get off my tour bus. You know what I'm saying? After the girl probably had a great night and maybe probably enjoyed the experience as well. She probably liked the sex too, or whatever, you know? And then afterwards, you know, you kind of, I don't know, you kind of maybe tainted it up, or right there, it probably messed with a girl's mind big time. Right when you drop that dollar on her, you know, maybe she probably would like to hug in a picture or something. You know what I mean? But so I just thought, I was just curious about that. Like I said, like, what would make that click? Like, what would make that click in your mind? Like, afterwards, you know, like, what, right? You know, everything's going great, and then afterwards, he just like, pow, here's $100. Like, oof, make you all feel like a hooker or something. It's just wild, man. I don't know, man. I was just wondering about that when I was reading that article. I just thought it was kind of crazy. It made me feel for all the female humans out there. All the female, and if there's any female humans that are watching, I appreciate y'all. Just wanted to know. I was just, you know, I was curious about something that somebody would put that, you know, make somebody feel that. You know what I mean? So I got another one, and oh my, oh my. Okay. We all know John Mayer. Everybody knows John Mayer. You know, and so apparently this guy has some crazy things that he's into. Again, you make a lot of money. You think you can get away with anything, I guess. I guess if you do a bunch of times, I guess you do believe you can. Cuz this seemed like some normal shit to the guy. All right? So, he is at a show and he's attracted to this girl, and he, you know, invites her to his hotel room after the show, and, you know, starts talking with her and wants to hook up, and the girl thinks they're going to just hook up. And so he's like, man, I'm really attracted to you, this, and that. Stuff's got getting hot and heavy. And he says, can I pee on you? John Mayer says, can I pee on you? Some R. Kelly shit. But she was of age. It wasn't like the underage girls, like R. Kelly shit. He says, can I pee on you? The girl said no, got a little weirded out. She said she was going to the bathroom. When she came out, he was leaving the hotel room and didn't say nothing to her. And she went to the bed, and he had peed all over her bed. She said he just pissed all over her bed. He said, you know, he wanted to use a body like a wonderland, but he wasn't allowed to. He wasn't allowed. So he decided to just pee all over her bed and be like, fuck you, bitch. I'm like, damn. So, like, when you're like that famous and people give you that kind of, I think, like I said, like, if it works that time or that many times, I guess you think you can get away with that shit and people will let you. And I think that's kind of crazy. That's crazy. He said no and just peed all over her bed. You know what I'm saying? Where's the cancel people on that? You know what I'm saying? But I'm not done with John Mayer. I got another one. Apparently, this other female had hooked up with John Mayer. This time, things didn't head down the right path, I guess you could say. Let's just say her body might have not been the wonderland she expected. Let's just say in certain situations the bottom may have dropped off. So I'll get to it. Anyways, apparently, this girl hooked up with John Mayer. They were at his show. It was like a smaller venue. It was a little more personal, so he could see some fans closer. And he picked out a couple girls, you know what I'm saying? And they was in this group, and apparently they were attracted to each other. And he, wanted to hook up with her. So he's like, I'm going to call you from my friend's phone or your friend's phone or blah, blah, blah. And then, we'll set it up. So she goes to his hotel room after a show. And she goes to hook up with John Mayer. John Mayer. And apparently they were getting hot and heavy and had their thing going on. And then she gets a phone call from John Mayer's friend or John Mayer, somebody from, I don't know if it was him or his associate or somebody calls and says that, you can come pick your friend up. Like, he's done with you now. Come pick your friend up. So her friend goes to his room to, pick her friend up. Get her girl and take her home after, he done dirtied her all up or something. You know what I mean? I hope he didn't pee on her. Pee probably would have been better. So she gets to the room. He answers the door in a robe. And he walks her to the bathroom. The girl said she was a little nervous. It felt a little sketchy. But she wanted to get her friend. So he walked her over to where the bathroom was. And she goes in the bathroom. And her friend is in the bathtub covered in poop. Covered in poop. Humans? Yes. Apparently, her friend went and picked her up. She was in the bathroom all covered in poop. And then she said to her friend after she, showered off and left. You know what I'm saying? Man, she said she didn't realize what was happening in the situation. That has got to be weird. That's when that's where my curiosity came in when I got to this story. And I was asking, what does that click, man, when you meet somebody famous? Because, I've met famous people, but I was never, it wasn't like a female or nothing like that. It was it was more like, a bunch of guys are musicians or rap groups when you were a kid and going to concerts. You're like, oh, man, you just get an autograph. But I can only imagine, in the groupie side or the female side, not just the groupie side, where you feel like maybe the way he picked you up, you didn't feel like a groupie. You know what I mean? And so, what happened right there, she said she felt confused and she didn't realize how it happened. She said, next thing you know, they were having sex. And then he asked if he could, and she said yes. And then she didn't realize the situation. And then when she, came to, what did I just say yes to, she was all covered in shit. He just, fucking made her body the Wonderland. Her body was the Wonderland. Goodness gracious. That is gross. Yeah. So he used her body as this Wonderland of his own weird enjoyment. And she said her friend, hung in there. She was her fucking wingman. She cleaned her off with her, helped her get clean, and they took her out of there. You know what I'm saying? And they brought it public. They went anonymous, of course. But man, dude, that's just crazy. And then you look back when you see those celebrity relationships, and he dated Katy Perry. Makes you think or wonder. I mean, it makes me wonder and think, did he get to pee and poop on Katy Perry? Makes you wonder about some of her songs. Those song titles. I won't get into it. But that's just wild when you think about it, because when they have those celebrity relationships and you see him out there all super confident, and then you just wonder, did he poop and pee all over Katy Perry? Did he go 1 and 2 on Katy Perry? Man, that's crazy. If he did, that's crazy. Man. But I got one more. I don't know if you guys remember a movie called The Never-Ending Story. There's an old movie. They did a couple, maybe sequel from it and everything. And it was a really cool movie when I was younger. and it's like a timeless movie. It's a classic. You know, the technology might not be cool if you're not into like seeing like a vintage film, but this movie's really great. It's a story of a kid comes across this magical book, takes him to another world, and it kind of makes you want to like. It's kind of like a metaphor, you know what I'm saying? When you go to a library and open a book where it's a cool story, and you go on this adventure when you open a book and read something, you know. So it was really cool. So this kid opens this book, goes to another world, and these people are like in this like certain part of the universe where they protected Earth. Like if they didn't save things in this place, everything would die in everywhere. Even Earth itself would be over. And so there was a main character in this, not the boy who read the book. There was a guy in the different universe, and his name was Atreyu, and he was like the other star of the film, like the main star. You know what I'm saying? And anyways, this woman claims she hooked up with him now that he's older. He was like I think it was like 2000, like maybe 8ish or some shit, and he's like an older dude. Or I think he was maybe not. I don't know. I think he was an older guy when they hooked up. So she said he was a nice guy and everything like that. And everything was great. Everything went perfect. Everything was like, it was a great day. He was a gentleman. They went out on a cool date. They were out on the beach. And he was just like, took her out to a nice dinner. They had a great time. Everything was like super nice and great. And they had, they hooked up. And that was good too, she says. But then she was really upset when she started noticing she had contracted herpes. Yes, humans, from Atreyu. If you ask me, that was the never ending story. For her, anyways. Well, if you guys like this episode, like I said, I'd appreciate it if you would smash the like button, hit me with a subscription, and turn on those notifications because I'm here every Wednesday and Saturday. And this has been another episode of Meant to Vent. Till next time, humans. See ya.